You aren't good enough. You aren't able to be good enough. And I put it in quotations because you need to know what I'm saying. And you aren't expected to be good enough. You know the gospel. If you're in this room and you believe in Jesus, you know the gospel. That there's a difference between God's gracious justification, he made you right on his own, versus you earning and striving to check off all the boxes. The reason the gospel exists is because you aren't good enough. You aren't checking the boxes. You aren't clicking on all cylinders. And that is actually way more freeing than me telling you, you got to try harder to be good enough. You have to take the focus off of your performance. Gospel people are not staring at their activity, they're staring at Jesus. If you stare at your activity, you're always going to be wondering if you're good enough. If you're staring at Jesus, you will never wonder, because that's not even the goal. And you need to hear the gospel over and over again, because what Satan wants you to believe as a Christian is, I'm saved by grace, but I'm sanctified by works. And that's the whole point of Galatians. Paul says, so let me get this straight. What you started in the spirit, you're now trying to perfect in the flesh. He's basically saying, you were saved by God's total work, and now you're trying to get right with God closer through your effort? Fam, that's not it. Paul says, you're wilding out. You're missing it. That's not it. If you're saved by the Spirit, you're also sanctified by the Spirit, and God is sufficient where you are not. Isn't that what Paul says? He says, the sufficiency is not coming from me, but our sufficiency is from God. What is he saying? I'm not good enough, but God is good enough. That's so nice. I don't have to be perfect. Why? Because God is perfect. And now you hear me. I'm not saying it's a license to sin, but it is freedom from having to be perfect.